Many people are looking at ways to get into shape, physically stronger, but physically smarter. You talk about being physically smarter.
I do. So we talked earlier about intelligence and data and smarts and things, and I've always been a fan of trying to figure out, well, if my brain is my biggest asset, I'm a creative person, so I get paid to think things up, and I'm a CEO, I have to figure out strategy and problems and all that, and I'm a mom and I have all these things. Like, I gotta figure out how to optimize or do a think hack, right? Like, how do I hack into my own brain to make it work faster so I'm more efficient? And this is very specific to women, but we don't take enough self-care. So we don't realize that our brains, as much as they work on, muscles and electrodes, they really are fueled by chemicals in your body, endorphins, all sorts of different things. And so when women very specifically have been shown in studies when they're flooded with certain hormones, certain endorphins, certain chemicals in the body, that for periods they actually think faster. They've proved it with crossword puzzles, with all sorts of things. I went on about a year journey to figure out if I could do this. At one point I read all these books on autism, trying to figure out if I could teach myself to think like a high-functioning autistic, would I be smarter? I went in and thought, well, if I just go to the gym, is that the same thing? And I started to do that. What I realized is that the chemicals that you release during orgasm, and there are studies on this, actually create your brain to think faster. And so for a year, I thought, well, okay, if I could just release those chemicals several times a day, then I will be smarter, I will get through work faster, I will be a better mom. And so I took a year and forced myself to release those chemicals 3 times a day. And it's very challenging to do this, but it changed a lot in the business and changed a lot in my personal life.
So it works.
It works, and it absolutely works. Now, 3 a day may have been overkill. I tend to do things big, but I'm a big proponent of once. Like, you have to physically, and they're very specific. It's the hormones released after orgasm, not after running on a treadmill. It's there. And what I think was pivotal, though, is that in order to have that, you have to be focused on you. And in order to be focused on you, you have to make time in the day for it. But I have a horrible thyroid condition. That was under control during that time. I lost 30 pounds during that time. I was sleeping better. I finished a book at the time. I grew my company during the time. There was so many things that I list out in the book that happened. Now, were they all related just because I was having an orgasm every day? No. Or yes, you'd have to tell me, because I had to make time for myself and I had to physically prepare to do that. And I was smarter at those times. I was more creative. I did a lot of those things. And so I do talk a lot about that in the book. And what I have found is that when I talk to women specifically in business, they say, I don't have time for that. I'm too busy. That's not important. And then I say, okay, that's fine. Tell me about your business. I'm not growing, I'm stressed, I'm frustrated, I'm not getting along with my teammates. This seems challenging. Okay, well, when's the last time you, got your hair blown out? When's the last time you got a pedicure? We don't have time for that, I work all the time. Okay, great. When's the last time you felt happy? It's not time to feel happy, I gotta grow the business. And so that went back to my work-life balance. It's like, well, how are you going to grow the business if you're just moody all the time, if you're not thinking? And in business, our brains are the biggest asset we have. So I know it seems like an odd connection, but the research is there.